maybe one thing. That's about it.
Oh, we're in.
Are we started?
Yeah.
With the test and everything?
Yeah.
We did it all?
I think so.
I
pretty sure.
I cranked out some work right there, huh? To get that started.
What?
I did a lot of work to get this started.
You always do.
I know I do.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
David Fraley.
No, yeah, go ahead.
How long do you think it will take us to record this podcast today?
I hope that it just fucking...
Upwards of 3 hours?
I hope when we're at the 10-minute mark, it just cuts out, and then we go on for the next 3 hours.
Going?
It's
okay,
sweet.
so we
got a roaring fire
Why
going.
Did the fire stop last time?
I don't
get
think...
it.
I think I played the fire, and then I tapped it out, so it wasn't on the screen.
Oh.
So if we just don't feel as cozy in our home as normal, we should just recognize that our podcast is going to stop in the middle of it.
Obviously. Yeah, obviously.
Welcome back, everybody. How's the week been? Anything crazy happened in the past week?
Absolutely nothing.
Call of Duty Warzone.
Call of Duty, yeah,
Cold War. Black Ops Cold War.
It's actually dog shit.
I really don't. As soon as I bought it, I regret it now.
It's very bad.
I didn't like the zombies. You guys were very mad at me the entire time because you guys were playing before me, right?
Yes.
And I was trying to get a feel for the game
but
and play it the way zombies I played before, where you don't just pack a punch the first gun that you get. You get good guns out of the mystery box, then you pack a punch it.
You know what the odd part about that is?
What's that?
I would understand that because we weren't telling you what to do at all. That was the issue.
I agree.
Except for the fact that we told you step for step. Hey, follow me, David. Follow me, David.
I couldn't hear anybody because you can't talk into the headset, and Devin was quiet as fuck.
Yeah, but I kept on saying, "Come with me, and then you still.
And then if I would come with you, you'd be like, "He's not even coming with me. He's cringe." So you can't.
That was one time you were following right behind me.
He's still not fucking following me.
I didn't realize that it was you. Also, it was just. We were telling you to pack a punch, and you were just like, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't pack a punch, because I'm not going to pack a punch a submachine gun when you can do an LMG.
You know what the weird part is? Is that we also told you that you can load in with a loadout?
Yeah.
Put it in an LMG then.
I wanted to get one from the box, like an RPD or something.
Yeah, but it resulted in you legitimately wasting triple the amount of money that it takes to actually buy the pack-a-punch.
It is strange that you get a loadout for zombies. So you can bring in whatever gun. I like the idea of, do you know how in League of Legends you start from zero and then you get items throughout the game?
And you progress.
I like that with zombies. It was the same. Everybody starts off with a pistol and then you slowly progress. You get more money and you ramp up. But now you can start with let's say I don't know what the best gun is going to be, the standard gun. But you can essentially just start with it right away.
Yeah, they gotta make some changes to that game. That game's kind of hot garbage. It's especially since it's based off of a war that isn't a real war.
Are you gonna play the campaign?
No,
I got it downloading right now.
Really?
I'm gonna see. Well, I like the Black Ops campaign. It was the only campaign of Call of Duty that I enjoyed.
I have heard that it's good.
And people might say oh, Modern Warfare 2 is the greatest, because Ghost gets killed or some shit.
I don't Spoiler.
I don't know.
Seriously?
I never was a huge fan of it. Then there was the no Russian scene where the second level you're in terminal and you kill all the people. You shoot up the airport terminal.
Cover up the dozies.
Yeah, just wear socks so you don't have to show those puppies off.
I don't have that many socks. That's what I should do. I should make that order purchase from Amazon that I wanted to do. Yet I don't know.
This is the only topic I can talk about though.
What?
I have nothing.
The Black Ops?
Yeah, it's just Call of Duty.
I've got a couple. One other thing.
I actually was hoping a little bit. Part of me was that me and you were going to enjoy watching the Packer game together. I thought that because that's what we did last week, But they're the only difference 2 weeks ago before our landlord came over to install the dryer.
Yeah.
We were doing that and I was like, oh shit, you know what? It's a noon game. We can just drink some beers and watch it. But instead, you wanted to make fun of me on Call of Duty for an hour and a half.
Well, I did this thing where I was
I wore my shirt too.
Because the issue is this wasn't a Packer game that I wanted to watch because it wasn't a Packer game that I wanted the Packers to win.
I know.
Because I had the Jaguars winning it in the Super Bowl.
They still almost fucking lost it though.
I'm not even kidding you. The Jaguars are this close.
I know. They're they were this close to not being 1-7.
I don't know if I'm just misremembering this, which is very possible. But I'm pretty sure that the first like 4 games they lost. They lost all but one. But like all of them were within
last year?
This year.
This year?
But they were all within like 3 points or like 1 score. So like it's just been they've been like 1 score off so many games.
That's gonna be like a huge morale killer.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, not quite as much as getting stomped out by 40 points a game every single game, senior year of high school.
What are your thoughts? We can talk about that in a second. But what are your thoughts on? So let's say you get to you're an NFL, NBA, and you want to get a high draft pick, so you just tank your season on purpose.
Yes.
Do you agree with tanking? Do you think it's like a good thing to do?
In a way, but I think that you have to do it properly. I think
forgot to turn that fan off. Keep talking.
The best thing to do, I think, is developmental, like tanking.
I agree.
Like play like freshman and like sophomore players. So like first couple year players, just to get everybody. Dude, you trying to cut your hand off, bro? Just to get your players like ready, and I think that's okay. But if you're like intentionally throwing games, I don't really care for that.
I really disagree with tanking. I just think that if you start tanking in the locker room, it essentially like the excuse is like, okay, well, we don't actually have to take this game seriously because we're tanking, and then you get to like eventually you get all these picks. So then you get like a season of like people who are all they feel like they're not accountable because they've already like been tanking, like, oh, we can just kind of get away with it. And then you get like the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, so like the thing is if you have these players that are going to be playing, and you're tanking intentionally, I don't like that because it does bring that loser attitude.
Yeah, exactly.
But like if you're just playing like sophomores and rookies, in general you're not going to probably win a lot of games.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. Just play like you're not starters then.
Yeah.
Work on like having then rather than playing like your players, make them play more of a coaching role and have them learn off of like the small mistakes that they can see from the rookies and sophomores. But
what were you gonna say about like getting blown out every single game in football?
Well, no, that was just our way of life in high school, which was really, really fucking.
I was hanging out with, I'll just say his name, Jay Fly, and we were talking about how he still just like he cares so much about high school football.
Yes,
and they were
they were
their team was good and actually made playoffs, opposed to our team.
Yes,
right. So he was like, I still hate that fucking piece of shit coach because he did not put me into the game for like the last playoff game. But he kept saying like he just wouldn't put me in. He just didn't put me in. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, you probably got put in. Like, why wouldn't you have been put in? I didn't like to play, but I got put in. He's like, no, the last playoff game, like he never put me in. And I said, how long? Like, did you guys get blown out? Did you guys? And he was like, no, it was like a couple score game. And I was like, why did you think you were gonna play? Like, you're not good. You're like me.
Yeah, he was really bad.
Yeah, and he was like, no offense, but like I was better than you. And I was like, what? He cared so much about football still and I just couldn't wrap my head around it.
That being said, I don't respect that team still.
That era?
Yeah, that group of kids, I don't respect that team.
Why?
Because I don't think that any of them were good.
Yeah, but they got, who cares? At least
they played against like, fucking schools with like 100 and like we had 500 kids at our high school. Yeah, they had like 100. Like they were playing against schools with like 150 kids.
What would you have rather though? Let's be honest.
I mean, yes, yeah, I would have rather been in that conference.
Right, exactly.
But I'm not going to like say that was a good team. I'm not going to respect them like that.
I mean, we weren't a good team either.
No, but we had good players.
I guess.
I think that team had Evander, who was good.
Yeah, he became a D1 player.
Yeah, he was pretty solid.
Yeah, he was better than, I mean, on a technical level, he was better than all, like...
No,
because he actually went to, well, I guess AK went to Whitewater, which is D3. Did he play, though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He just had bad grades and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't try.
Oh, well.
Which, I think that just came with, if our team would have played in that conference, there would have been a lot. I guarantee there would have been a lot more college football athletes.
Yeah, that's potential. I get that.
Definitely, because if I was in that, like, this was like a thing said by like the coaches. They were like, yeah, like if we weren't in this conference, like every person on our starting, like the players that you would think were just like good on our team, they would have all been like, you know, second team all state and stuff. Like even in our conference, we like had our senior year we had insane amount of passing yards.
Why do you think that we couldn't
Terrible coaching.
we couldn't win? You think it was the coaching overall?
Yeah.
You think like they just lost the locker room and none of the players trusted the coaches?
I think that our players. So it started with right after my brother's team left. It was kind of like the tanking thing.
Yeah.
They had like a bad team the next year, like of just like there wasn't anybody good.
Yeah.
Not anything else other than.
I still remember our vice principal always talking about trying to get the culture back to like a winning culture, which is like a legitimate thing.
Yes.
I never felt like we had that in St. Francis.
Ever.
No.
It was just bad. Nobody wanted to win.
Yeah.
And it would just be like people giving up. Like after the first
pretty
score.
pretty quickly.
After we get scored on once, it would just like be like nobody would care.
Yeah.
It was just so bad, and it would make me very angry. And I wasn't like a good leader by any means, but I was a good player. So like I was forced into this leadership role that like I wasn't good at.
Not a good leader, right?
Yeah. I just expected more of people.
Yeah.
And it just because like one thing that I remember specifically was I always thought like no joke, like like when I went against somebody like one-on-one, there wasn't like anybody that really gave me ever a competition.
Yeah.
Like all 4 years of high school. And
I felt the same way when playing League of Legends.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing. And we would do like film. And watching film just like I don't know if people didn't understand it.
Yes.
Was the biggest
You're
thing.
talking to me.
Like maybe everybody was that way.
The thing is though, when watching film, if we watch? I can't remember. Did we watch film on the other teams? We did.
Yep.
Yeah, I never.
And we'd watch back our film.
I remember watching back our film, right?
Mondays.
But that never helped me because I don't know if you knew this. I didn't get into the games, so that wouldn't help me. Also, of the people who just didn't give a shit, I was at the top of the list.
Yes.
I mean, I literally did not care.
But you also weren't playing the games.
No, I wasn't part of. I was on the team, but I wasn't part of the team.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So there's one game that I remember specifically where we watched like film on it, and this happened every single game. I in general had a higher like game knowledge than most people, especially as a lineman. I was able to see a lot of stuff to the point where, not even kidding you, one Eisenhower game, I would turn around, look at the middle linebackers, Joey and them, and be like, hey, they're running this play. They're running it to this side. Watch this hole. They'd break it for like a 14-yard run.
Yeah, but you got to realize that our middle linebackers, like, you remember we were talking about the holes and the shapes and the pegs?
Yes.
Our middle linebackers didn't know how to play that game.
Yes.
Circles into triangles into squares.
It was like, and I'm not even kidding.
It makes no sense to them.
If I would say that
I'm pretty sure
on
also
50% of the plays, I was like just calling out.
I'm also pretty sure our nose tackle didn't know how to read.
He didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, these were the players that we played with.
There was a point where like, their left guard was just like, how do you know that? Like, are you listening? And I was like, no. And like they would just give away like subtle things, like the way that their like guys would lean.
Yeah, the way they would lean.
It was just like so easy to tell what they were running, and then based on their formation. Like, and people just like wouldn't get that. I always said this: if I was a little bit faster, I think that I could have probably done it. If I would have played middle linebacker in high school, I probably would have had like, I don't know, like 40 tackles a game, because it just was so easy.
It's unfortunate that you were 5'3". You might have actually been like you might have been actually like a college bound person with that.
I mean, I was a college bound person.
Oh well, what can you do?
Yeah.
Maybe
Just-
like a D1 college ball is what I'm saying.
Yeah, probably. I more than likely, I think that if I was 6'1" or taller, I probably would be playing D1
Yeah,
football.
probably.
But it is what it does.
Whatever.
I think I would like,
No
especially
cartilage in
at
your
24.
knees.
If at
Your
24,
brain would have been destroyed.
yeah, I would just hate my life. I think I would actually fucking hate it. I was thinking about this a while back. I don't think that I'm going to have my kids play football. I think I'll
well,
have them play sports.
If
but-
my kids are anything like me, go ahead.
yeah,
They can play football all they want.
but like my kids, if they're like athletic, they'll
They
play.
yeah.
And they'll just be, their brain will be mush.
I know they can just run into walls if they want.
Yeah.
If I had a kid, I'd probably really push them to go into like basketball.
That's what I would.
Because basketball is
Genuinely.
the sickest fucking sport to play. It's the dopest.
It's definitely the best.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about like heavy injuries, except for like maybe
Except for
ACL
walking
tears.
or something.
Yeah.
Later on, but who needs like back? It's like your
cares?
back and knees.
Who cares?
Who gives a fuck?
I got that shit too, dude.
Yeah.
Like, actually, happy 8-year anniversary to me.
What is this?
Meniscus surgery.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Did it grow back yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. How does meniscus grow back?
So when a meniscus tears, do you know what a meniscus is?
I imagine it's the thing that is in between your knees that helps it move.
It doesn't really stop mobility.
Is it?
It's
Is it the
cushion.
padding?
Yes.
Like between your kneecaps? Right, that's what it is.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I tore mine junior year. Probably one of the best, definitely my best year of football, I think, was that year. I tore it in like the third or fourth game of the season. Went out for a quarter or 2 quarters. Just like got hit in the knee. And I honestly think that I could have played that game out, but I thought I tore something because somebody ran into my kneecap full speed. It hurt like shit. Didn't know what happened. Fucking came off the field. Go to like the trainer the next week. They stretch me out. They're like, yeah, you have a sprained LCL.
Yeah, you told me about this.
Just like some minor injury.
Yeah, it's like that's why they're at the high school
Yeah,
level.
you ice it, you
Yeah.
stretch it. That's it. Play the rest of the season. Doing something that is like very unheard of. I pulled every single play, which is when a lineman moves from one spot to become the main blocker, which isn't like a lot of running. Like it's like, but it is for every single play, and for like a lineman, that's pretty absurd amount of running. And then I also played defense, so I played offense and defense. Did that all with the torn meniscus.
It's weird to think that the most NFL players, right, or like great college players, or like the best high school players, when they played in high school, the best ones always played both sides of the ball. That's just generally how that went. And when you get to like the higher levels, that's when you actually start like, I'm only gonna play this position now.
I think that it helps to develop that.
Playing both sides of the ball.
Because think of it like this: you, like for a League of Legends standpoint, you wouldn't know how to play against Jhin in the bot lane if you didn't play Jhin itself as well as you could.
Sure.
So like playing defense allows you to like realize the flaws in other defense.
Oh, and also look, you see
looks that are given based on different formations where a person's going like I said, in the high school level, there's so many flaws that players make. Like something like leaning forward kind of gives you the idea that more than likely, if their weight is on their hand, they're run blocking. If their weight isn't that much on their hand, they're more than likely pass blocking. Same with defensive players. Defensive players that like are more finesse won't put as much weight as on their hands. They'll have a more ass up style of when they're in their position, they'll be like more ass up and shoulders down. If they're like a finesse player, they'll be more flat backed, shit like that.
And something that also is interesting is just in general how defense and offense are completely different teams. LeBron James was talking about, I think he was talking on like The Shop, his HBO haircutting show, talking about the greatest athlete of all time, not even just basketball. And he was saying that football players shouldn't even be in the competition because they don't play both sides of the ball.
What about Barry Sanders?
What about fucking Bo Jackson?
Bo Jackson.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like, Tom Brady can't be the greatest athlete of all time because he doesn't play defense.
I get that. I don't think that.
Well, Tom Brady can't be like in the conversation for greatest athlete of all time.
Huh?
For the greatest athlete of all time?
I don't put him in that.
I don't either.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
I don't think that like quarterbacks can't be put in that position. I mean, there's definitely like, I mean, somebody like
maybe I guess like a receiver would be in a better.
Receivers, running backs. I think that those are very possible. Somebody like J.J. Watt.
Sure.
J.J. Watt has like a few receptions. Like the guy, like there's these athletes that.
J.J. Watt might be coming to the Packers next year.
Really?
He wants out of Houston.
Really?
Yeah, he's been very much like, he was like, it's not. This isn't an obvious statement, but I don't have like a decade left in the league. Like I'm in my tail end of my career, and I want to play like for a contender. I've never been a contender really.
Yeah.
On the Houston Texans, and he loves the franchise, but he's like, I mean, this year they're like 1-7.
Yeah.
And it's like that locker room mentality thing we were talking about, where they have a young quarterback who's solid. Is it Deshaun Watson? Mm-hmm. See, like he's good.
But he's got to wait for him to develop, and
right, and like he just doesn't have time for that. And he basically was like, get me out of the fucking team.
And like the issue was that they've had like a defense to win. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, a viral play. It was a college play where a defensive lineman ran right through Jadeveon Clowney. Does that name?
No, I don't know who that is.
He gets right through the line. You might have seen the play. He hits the guy, and just like it's like one of the hardest hits. And it's like a 5, like to hit somebody very hard on like a kick return. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. This guy popped the guy's fucking helmet off by hitting him in the chest.
Yeah.
And he only had a 5-yard run. Like he got through the offensive line really quick. I'll show you the play afterwards. Yeah. He had that player on his team who was just like a top prospect. Mm-hmm. Had injury issues, obviously, but between having those two defensive,
do you remember his like crazy defensive plays of the like just how good J.J. Watt was at his peak?
Yes,
it's so crazy. I guess they never really had an offense
ever. No,
who was their quarterback? Was Brian Hoyer their quarterback at one point?
Hoyer the Destroyer was for a bit. I think.
Then that's like it that I can remember in terms of names.
There was another guy.
Was there like a solid guy?
There was a decent guy. I forgot what his fucking name was.
So he's either going to go for the Packers, who's like a contender, or
the Buccaneers.
No, the fucking the Steelers, because his brother's on the team.
That makes sense.
So a lot of those are the people's biggest theories. Because like for the theory is because like the Packer home team
is DJ Watt still in the league?
DJ. One is on the Chargers, one is on the Steelers.
Is he still on the Chargers?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that one not an option?
Because it's the fucking Chargers. What are you talking about?
That being said, the Chargers, I'll fight anybody on this, have the best uniforms.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they're the best worst team, and I would agree.
The powder blue uniforms, those are
they're the best outfits. The Raiders. It's hard to argue.
No,
I like the Raiders shit.
Because
you said in a podcast like 2 podcasts ago that the Raiders are the best outfits because they're black and white.
No, I've always said that fucking the Chargers.
You like the powder blue and the yellow?
That was the first uniform where I saw it, like game day, like 2004 or something like that. I was like, that's just a cool fucking uniform.
NFL uniforms, I have to say, are the worst fucking professional sport uniforms.
They're the best jerseys to buy.
They're the best jerseys to buy, but they're the worst color schemes.
Yeah, usually.
Bear colors suck. Green Bay Packers suck. Minnesota sucks. Detroit Lions are okay.
Yeah, Detroit Lions have good ones.
Like
Raiders have a good colorway.
I do like the Steelers colors.
Steelers colors, yeah.
Steelers are cool.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
I just think that because my home team is Green Bay, but like I like NBA jerseys so much more, or like color schemes. Solid baseball uniforms are fucking sick too.
Wisconsin just has shitty, except for like the Badgers.
The Badgers have a good color scheme. I like that.
Other than that,
the cream
no
Bucks. Are you joking?
It's all right.
The cream,
but it's an off.
Right. You
can't count that.
The redesign of the Bucks is one of the best redesigns ever.
For sure. But it like literally went from like
the green and red was trash.
Hey, what's your 2 favorite colors, 3-year-old? I think purple and And then we're like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's throw purple
If they
and
made
green
a
together.
throwback jersey though of green and purple,
That shit would be fire.
I would fucking get it day one.
Yes.
Green and purple is disgusting.
Yes.
Give it to me.
But honestly, I think that they could do it was just that they put like a big ass fucking like
A deer?
on it.
That's just-
and it's just like too big for the jersey.
Oh, I loved it.
It is so bad.
That's
but
when like you had the
I guarantee
cartoon
that
raptor and the Raptors jerseys.
Yeah, they're
Do
going.
you know how the Raptors got their name?
Oh,
So it was during the expansion, right?
was it because fucking what's his name looks just like a raptor?
Say it.
Chris Bosh.
No. That's funny.
Dude, look at him, and he literally looks like a fucking raptor.
So I think the expansion happened like 1992 when they like added the. I think it was like the Quebec Grizzlies before,
yeah,
right? Or the Montreal Grizzlies.
we're still going.
Oh, I know, we're good. So essentially, they added two Canadian teams where like Memphis took the Grizzlies, so it eventually became Memphis. But Toronto, like they put an ad in their paper. They
Why
were
isn't
like,
that like the leaves or maple leaves? Just
They-
like everything else.
so the expansion came out in 1992, and they made it a vote to the city. And the movie that came out the year before was Jurassic Park,
Really?
and they all voted for the Raptors.
That's a good name though.
I like it, but it's literally just because Jurassic Park was so popular.
That being said, that first iteration of the raptor was the big ass red raptor.
It basically looked like Rugrats fucking.
Yes,
What the fuck is his name?
Reptar.
Reptar.
Yeah,
Basically.
that used to be my favorite TV show. What was your favorite TV show as a kid?
It depends what era, but
Like very young, 4.
Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Really? Oh, that was up there for me. It was definitely Ed, Ed and Eddie,
Billy and Mandy.
Rugrats,
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is, okay, so Cartoon Network straight up is better than Nickelodeon
Okay.
and Disney Channel.
Okay.
Those are the big three. But Nickelodeon kind of had the best cartoon, which is SpongeBob. It wasn't my favorite, but if you don't objectively think that was the best cartoon, I think you'd be
So
wrong.
it's not Cartoon Network.
Huh?
SpongeBob's not Cartoon Network.
You don't know, right?
Yeah, I don't know the difference between all of them.
That's so fucking nuts. to me.
Because it was
What is Rugrats?
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Yep, because and then remember the orange fucking VCR tape?
Yeah.
For the movie, Rugrats movie?
Yeah.
That was the shit.
Yes, it was.
Um
And do you remember this? So Burger King did a promotion when the Rugrats movie was coming out, and it's not a Happy Meal, but whatever the Burger King meal is, you got like a Rugrats toy plus a scratch and sniff, like collectible.
you live by a Burger King though, right?
Yeah,
That's fine.
but it was a huge promotion.
Yeah, but my parents,
So you would take
I never had Burger King.
you would take the scratch and sniff and go to the theater, and they would have a little number in the corner, and you would scratch off and smell it during the movie. It's literally to this day, it's one of my favorite fucking movie promotions that any company's ever done, because that thing is fucking sick. When do they do that anymore?
They don't do movie promotions like they used to.
Exactly.
That was the shit.
The most
like,
recent one that I can think of is Quentin Tarantino, Hateful Eight.
Detective Pikachu.
What did they do for that?
Gave out what every Pokemon movie does.
Oh, just give out
Pokemon
Pokemon cards.
cards
Yeah,
and shit
that
like
is
that.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hateful.
Hateful Eight.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino shot the movie in 70mm, which is not the. Nowadays, everybody shoots in digital, so there's no like actual film reels. So Quentin made it that it wasn't like a wide release, but if you had a theater in your town that like could actually had a projector that was like do one of those.
Yes.
He called it the Road Show, and you would get like a pamphlet that had like behind the scenes footage on like I still have it in my box right here. It was fucking sick. It's just like shit like that doesn't happen anymore. There was like an intermission in the movie because it's like a 3-hour movie. But yeah, if you went to the standard one, you didn't get the pamphlet and you didn't get the intermission.
Yeah, that movie fucking sucks.
That movie fucking blows.
Fuck dick.
Martin Scorsese's trash.
Yeah, it's so bad. At least you know now.
You just saw a movie yesterday that got my interest piqued. Written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, which you don't even know who that is.
I have no idea who that is.
He wrote, I believe, for the Westworld, I think is the show.
I've heard of that movie.
With Martin Sheen was the main character to it.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Sheen is
I should watch that.
Is Martin Sheen the fucking father of fucking Charlie Sheen?
Ed Sheeran? Oh.
Yes, Martin Sheen is the father of Charlie
Ed
Sheen.
Sheeran? Oh.
Have you seen The Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Do you know the jock in it?
Yes.
That's Charlie Sheen's brother.
Really?
Yeah. His name.
The blonde hair one?
Yeah. With the blue tank top, the Nike blue tank top. Yeah, Estevez. Emilio Estevez. So Charlie Sheen and Martin Sheen, their real last name is Estevez, but Martin Sheen took on the stage name Martin Sheen. Charlie Sheen followed his father into Charlie Sheen, but Emilio Estevez kept his last name.
Why?
I don't know.
And he was never as successful as those two.
He had The Breakfast Club, but that was it. There's
Charlie Sheen was like,
I mean, he had Platoon.
he was like the biggest.
He's in fucking
actor
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He was on 2.5 Men, and then the Tiger Blood shit happened.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And there was like in the early 2000s, he would like openly talk about doing blow and fucking hookers. Like it was a wild time, and everybody's like, Charlie, he's just
Charlie, he's
just
got
having
AIDS.
fun.
He had like AIDS, right?
yeah, and he just gave girls AIDS, and girls
and he was
liked
just
it.
fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I fucking
Martin Sheen. Oh, I'll tell you who he is because I don't think you can picture him.
I do.
Oh, you do? He's
He was in
The Amazing Spider-Man. He was Uncle Ben as Andrew Garfield's dad.
in
The Departed.
I know him,
The Departed.
and he's all in there. And then he was also
Here we go. Let's see it.
Captain
Yes.
Frost
Yes.
in Santa Claus 3.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I don't know if you're right.
The
or
ice
not.
guy.
Is he really that in the Santa Claus 3?
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see if his knowledge is that
I think
Captain Frost or Jack Frost.
Jack Frost, maybe? I don't know. I forgot what his name was. He just had like the frosty tips and stuff.
That is not Martin Sheen.
Yeah, it is.
No fucking. You're thinking of fucking
Martin Short.
Martin. You're a fucking idiot.
Same person. He was
You're
on
like, yes, I do. I know.
Martin Sheen was on SNL.
Martin Short was SCTV. Him and Steve Martin are like great friends. They're the three amigos with Chevy Chase. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, me and you have new active beef, which I feel like we should do. We should do a segment every week
Where we talk about the tension in the household.
No, the people that we have beef with. Like
Oh,
new
who
people
we have beef with, not with the tension between us.
Yeah.
Are we good with tension? Are we good?
Yeah.
Are we cleared?
I mean, we're fine.
We sure?
I'm still going to throw shade at you all the time.
Should we expand?
I want to talk about who we have active beef with.
Who do we have active beef with?
Fucking
The
Total
neighbors?
Wine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say our fucking neighbors.
No, Total Wine. Those fucking pricks.
I know.
This fucking alcohol store by us fucking gave me a fucking, what is it? Stuck their fingers on my ass.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't expect them to do that so quickly.
They searched me.
They didn't even give him a chance to react.
Yeah.
Total Wine, for anybody who doesn't know, is essentially like the Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory store that has like bottles and bottles and bottles of booze. Everything you could ever want.
You can just get hammered there too.
No problem.
Because
They have like wine tasting and they give you samples there. All of the employees are super eager to help you. Like, and nobody seems
Not this one. That manager that like told us no was like, you asked him where something was, and he seemed very uninterested in telling us.
He did seem not
which was
happy.
odd.
Yeah,
Because
typically
they usually are very.
yeah. That guy seemed like a fucking cunt.
Yeah, I could have beat his ass. Too.
What happened was that we essentially had a cart full of stuff that amounted to $135. And because James lost his ID at least 3 months ago, it feels like, and still hasn't got one.
It's 2 weeks ago.
It
was literally 2 weeks ago.
feels like 3 months. They ID everybody if you're under 30, and they wouldn't sell us the alcohol because James did not have his ID. So it forced us to just go to the grocery store next door, and then I came back and just rebought everything without him in there.
Well, we go because they like ask for ID, and then he looks it over and he goes, "Yeah, we can only really sell like to two people if one doesn't have an ID, if one of them's over 30." Which just is like stupid. And then you go like, so like when can I buy this?
Yeah.
Like can I go drop him off at home and then come back and get it, or can like do I have to wait till tomorrow, or when do I have to?
Yeah, I was like, what time frame do I have to do? Can he just go in the car and I come back in for like in 10 minutes and buy it? And he was just like, he gave us no answer.
Literally no answer.
He couldn't. Why couldn't he answer that question?
You can't buy. And like,
I was like, I can't buy it ever. What does that mean?
yeah, can I just never come back? Like, fuck you guys. How about you know what? I bet their internet service provider is probably Spectrum. They're fucking cunks.
And I know they probably work together.
Yeah, they do.
I don't. Yeah, to fuck us. I don't know. And like, then I was like, okay, so like, what do we do? Like, we just leave? We're just see ya?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I guess we'll put this back for you. Like, he was like trying to do the math. Like, maybe we make them put it back. Like, it seems like he didn't know what to do.
Yeah. And then we just go to like Pick and Save
next door,
just the grocery store, buy some stuff that we needed from there. I stayed in the car. You were in there for maybe 5 minutes because we had the list.
Then I got literally the exact same thing. Went to a different woman who was just like happy to check me out.
Yeah.
Didn't check my ID, which is fine. Didn't matter. And then I like walked out with the cart. The cart was still behind the service counter. It would have the exact same stuff the other cart did, and I was just like looking at them. Like,
yeah, and then you got the wrong ginger beers because of it.
No, I didn't buy any ginger beers.
Because you couldn't get the ginger beers.
Yes, we had an issue where I was specifically wanted this type of ginger beer that I googled that said that was the best. Mm-hmm. And there was only like 2 or 3 left on the.
Which is what you do with everything,
right?
And you only buy that.
Correct.
You strictly won't buy anything else.
Absolutely.
Except one time we went to go buy toilet paper and you made us buy Cottonelle single ply.
I did buy the single ply, and that was my fault.
Which is very odd.
So I couldn't get the ginger beer that I wanted, and I had to go get it later on at a different grocery store. And I just found out that ginger beer isn't alcoholic. I thought it was.
It's non-alcoholic.
Isn't that weird? It's like root beer.
I mean, I'm never going to drink it.
Have you tried it? You've never tried a Moscow Mule?
No.
We got the copper cups coming in tomorrow.
I don't fuck with Russians.
It's not a Russian drink.
It's a Moscow Mule.
No, I'll tell you the story.
Okay.
So, it was made in Los Angeles in like the 1930s.
Okay.
Or like whatever the era, maybe the 19th. What era is the Cold War? 1960s. Mm-hmm. So it was at like peak time of America hating Russia, and vodka wasn't being sold really. It wasn't like popular in America yet. Mm-hmm. And one of the only vodkas that was imported in was a Smirnoff. So it's initially like a Smirnoff drink. The idea is to call it the Moscow Mule is like those Russians are like donkeys essentially,
assholes,
right? So it's like you're making fun of like their drink, and you put it like it's a it's vodka, ginger beer, lime, specifically in a copper cup. That's how they're made. People have thought it's because of the taste or it's to keep the drink colder. It was literally just a marketing ploy. The people that created it, they had too much ginger beer in their basement. Like, they just bought too much ginger beer.
Yes.
He was dating a girl who needed to get rid of her copper cups. In terms of, like, she just, like, had, like, a flux. She needed to sell. She's, like, she made copper cups.
Yes.
So, he was like, fuck it. Let's try to... And Smirnoff wasn't popular at this time. Let's just make this, like, hip drink. And it was all, like, marketing to put it together. And now it's, like, one of the most popular drinks. And people think the copper cups...
And you still had to buy the copper cups because of it.
Yep. Why did we buy martini glasses?
That was needed.
Exactly.
But, like, are you going to drink a martini out
of a rocks glass?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
Are you going to drink a Moscow Mule out of a...
Yes.
You can, but it's fucking dumb.
Oh, man. But, yeah, so we got that active beef currently.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to go back to that place.
I just fucking hate everybody, dude.
Yeah.
I just, like, at some point, we're just going to have a fucking full-on fist fight with all these people that we hate. It's going to be like the fucking Anchorman scenes. It just turns into, like, a fucking full-on war.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just, like... we should really just start a rogues gallery. Total Wine, Spectrum.
CVS.
That's a personal UB.
Who else?
It's kind of like if you're I'm trying to think of a crossover villain. If I'm Blade and you're Spider-Man, we both kind of fight Morbius because he's like a vampire, but that's like Spectrum, but your villain is CVS. While my villain is, I don't know, maybe my fucking girlfriend. I don't know.
Man. Fucking.
Speaking of the girlfriend, you know this, you're aware that over the past couple of weeks, we have been going through the Marvel movies from top to bottom.
Yep.
We have now gone all the way through.
And her favorite movie so far
Iron Man,
Thor.
I would break up with her if that was her favorite movie. We've gone through to Iron Man 3. I will tell you our lists as of right now. You tell me where you feel like the lists are wrong or right.
List for what?
Our favorites top to bottom.
I want to know just hers.
You want hers? Perfect.
Yes. Does she have? Is it split up?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you want from? We'll start from the bottom.
Okay.
Her most hated movie that she had. So it's I will name the first 6 for you.
Okay.
In order of like release order, you have Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, The Avengers, and then Iron Man 3. That's the first 7 that we've watched.
Okay.
We're watching Thor: The Dark World tonight.
No, we're not. Because unless you're watching it in your room.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because Queen's Gambit's going to be on out here.
That's fine. The Incredible Hulk is her least favorite with Edward Norton.
I respect that.
Thor is her second least favorite.
Okay.
So now she couldn't decide which one she liked more on the exact same level. One's not better than the other.
Is Dark World
in the list yet?
Yeah.
No, because we haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
So she literally cannot decide which one she likes or dislikes more. Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2 are the exact same in her.
And that's third.
That is her third worst.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Just continue.
Then her next favorite movie is Captain America: The First Avenger.
Okay, continue.
And then you have Iron Man 3.
Okay.
And then her favorite is The Avengers.
And you didn't smack her in the head with a frying pan.
No.
It goes, number 1,
The Avengers. Number 2,
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 3.
No.
Oh, you're saying your favorite. Yeah.
Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
Number 3, reluctantly,
Let's hear it.
First Avenger.
Okay.
Then it's probably Iron Man 3, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk.
You with Thor?
Or no,
Thor.
Thor, Incredible Hulk.
Our lists are almost the exact same. The only difference is I put Iron Man 3 above Captain America. I really like that movie.
You know what? I need to watch it back.
Everybody,
because I've heard that from, who was it? Cosmonaut
Variety Hour.
He said the same thing. Because everybody had this hate for it when it first came out.
Do you know why?
Why?
So when the trailer dropped, do you remember the era of Marvel movies at the time? People were having the opinion that all these Marvel movies are the same. They don't know how to do dark and gritty. DC does it better because Batman: The Dark Knight was coming out, and they were just like, these movies are just like too
lighthearted,
too quippy, too jokey. They drop a trailer. It's the Mandarin. He's a terrorist. You see Tony and Pepper just getting exploded by rockets in the house, and people are like, "Oh, the Mandarin's coming." Who is also people in like comic book nerds. Iron Man's like arch nemesis. So
yes.
we're like, "Oh, we're gonna get a great iteration of the Mandarin, and shit's gonna be like gritty, real, and like this is the movie that we want." So then people go into it, and if anybody, the director is Shane Black. If anybody knows like a Shane Black movie, it's not that. It's like it's not like a Jon Favreau kind of movie, but it's I can't really describe it. It's
like M. Night Shyamalan meets
exactly M. Night meets
Jon Favreau.
Perfect, nailed it. But essentially, it's just like a well-made movie and like fun, creative. Robert Downey Jr. is like obviously great as always. Yeah. And the Mandarin, who hasn't seen the movie, it's a twist. He's just like an actor who plays the Mandarin, and it's like a joke, like played by Ben Kingsley.
Yes.
It's a great joke. Like I really like the joke, and I don't really give a shit that the Mandarin wasn't like the actual representation of the Mandarin, because the movie is, I think, a really solid movie.
Yeah. So people just didn't like it because the Mandarin wasn't like represented in the movie.
Yes.
And like, it's not even that he was misrepresented. They just like didn't use him.
They essentially just like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't the real Mandarin. You know?
Because he could still be out there
technically, but like they're
Iron
never gonna
Man's
make it.
not now.
Yeah, they're never gonna make an Iron Man with that character.
Which is unfortunate though. That like his arch nemesis isn't in it.
But I mean, for the nerds out there, before Robert Downey Jr. became Iron Man,
yeah, Iron Man was
like a C tier fucking hero. Nobody gave a shit.
Have you seen like the early iterations of like what he looked like? Like
it's
was
trash.
Just like the Tin Man.
Yeah, it's essentially what he makes in the cave.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's what it was.
It's so weird to think of how popular heroes have become throughout the time. Because when we were children, think of who the most popular heroes are: the X-Men, Spider-Man.
I remember
Batman.
playing the X-Men game. All the X-Men games that came out. I loved the X-Men movies.
Yeah,
as a kid, still do. I do like the X-Men movies.
I like a good handful of them. There are some definitely bad ones in there.
You like Cyclops a lot, right?
Cyclops is my favorite X-Men.
Do you know who mine is?
I imagine Wolverine.
No.
Who?
It's Rogue.
Is Rogue your favorite X-Men?
No, it's Wolverine.
Okay. Because fucking my girlfriend's roommate said it was Rogue. Not even just her favorite X-Men, but her favorite hero.
Oh, man. That's something that her boyfriend would also say. Bitter. Oh, man.
Rogue actually is like not bad, but in her movie representation, I thought was trash.
I did want to fucking plow her, though.
Who? My roommate's or my girlfriend's roommate or Rogue?
Rogue.
Yeah.
And Phoenix.
Sure.
Oh, Jean Grey. Jean Grey would be a good option too.
For a favorite X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, she's like, the Dark Phoenix is an interesting storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But Cyclops is fucking sick, dude.
Cyclops sucks.
No, he doesn't.
He actually does.
No, you get the concussive blow beams.
He's so bad.
He's the leader. The same reason why I like Captain America.
He's garbage.
He's the leader of the X-Men. Captain America's the leader of the Avengers.
And what do you see yourself as?
Who do I see myself as?
Somebody that looks up to those guys.
You tell me. Then, okay, I guess I'll be Spider-Man. Someone who looks up to those guys. Who do you think you'd be?
Who do you think out?
The Hulk.
That or Wolverine, because I recover really quickly.
Maybe you'd be the Thing.
Because I'm a lone wolf.
Man, I would fucking love to have a Fantastic Four movie.
Who would you be? Let me really think about this one. Toad.
You think I'm Toad?
Yeah.
Let me think Toad.
You would be Toad.
What a fucking terrible mutant to make. I mean, that's just a trash design.
I do like X-Men though because of that. Because there is bad like Angel.
Mutants?
Like Angel's like a big.
Why is he
wings.
so relevant though in the comics? He can just fly.
Because he's very strong.
He's strong. He's super strong.
I think he's also indestructible.
I'm really strong.
Like I think that he's like bulletproof and shit like that too.
Man, Fox really. Here's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say X-Men, like the last couple X-Men's with fucking the greatest two actors of our generation. The
James McAvoy.
Yes.
And,
he's in
Robert Downey Jr.
No, Inglourious Bastards. Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah, he's very good.
They made like two solid X-Men movies, and then some other ones not so great.
It's so crazy to me that Fox.
If Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix were like banger movies, I bet Fox is still independent and Disney doesn't buy them out. That's my theory.
Definitely. It's so crazy to me that Fox goes from casting I won't know either of their names, but who play Professor X.
Oh, you're thinking of Patrick
Magneto.
Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Yes.
Yes.
Best casting. Probably like the best casting
Of all time
of all time.
for heroes. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is up there.
It is, right? But it's not. Here's why.
They're incredible, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is just like what we see that as now because it was such a... These were two characters who were the most popular characters. Mm-hmm. Like in the most popular comic books. And this is the most popular villain and the leader the like Professor X, like he's the X-Men. He is.
People were mad at Hugh Jackman casted as Wolverine at the time.
It is a little bit off, but now that's what we see.
He's too tall.
Yes, he's too tall.
You could do Wolverine.
I know.
You got it.
I told you.
I know. You got it.
Yeah, you're told though.
Don't stick your tongue out at me like that again. Who do you see as playing Wolverine in Disney's X-Men if they ever decide to do it? You're looking at him.
Hello.
I'm right here.
Literally.
Need I say more?
I mean, I need like 2 more years of development, which is
Sure.
about the time that they'll start casting.
I don't even 2 years. You could be ready easily in a year and 9 months.
See, but the issue is, this is a role for a lifetime.
I know.
Exactly.
You don't really need that much time because
I
you
know I
honestly
don't.
you've been prepping for most of your life.
Most of my life, yeah.
And I mean, look, like I tell you this all the time, but you have great facial hair, and you really like have the facial hair needed for the character.
I do.
I know.
Yeah. So like in 2 years, I'll be perfect for the role, I think.
Amen, brother.
I'm right there. And yeah, no, it's just crazy that they had those 2 characters, and then they like cast Patrick Stewart and Ian, whatever the fuck.
So they had Patrick Stewart, and Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm. Cast them perfectly, and then they're like, let's do a younger. Like, let's take a look at these.
And they have great people to do
Michael
them again.
Fa-
Michael Fassbender.
I will give out of those 2, Michael Fassbender definitely
is the better actor.
Is the better one.
I agree.
James McAvoy, I think, is just as good of an actor,
I
but
do
in
too.
that position, like for like Professor X, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Whereas Michael Fassbender actually seems like Ian
McKellen.
McKellen.
Yeah, I do. I agree. Like a younger version.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Those
are like if the original X-Men, the first 3 X-Men movies are pretty much the story of Wolverine, the Days of Future Past X-Men is the story of like Magneto and Professor X.
And oh my god, this is going to be a hot take. Out of those, Michael Fassbender's better than Ian
McKellen. Yeah,
because
I wouldn't argue with it.
But I think it also has to do with like the script and the way that the movies go, because it's so Magneto focused, and he, like the amount of emotion that he shows as that character, a character with a lot of emotion in general.
You know what?
Dope.
X-Men 2 was deemed as one of the greatest superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
Back. Do we hear dogs barking?
Yeah. Those are our dogs.
Oh, okay. But like, nobody nowadays would put X-Men 2 even in the top 10. You would still put X-Men 2 as the top 10? Are you joking?
Top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
You got Dark Knight, you got the Avengers, all of the Avengers, maybe minus Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron's so bad.
Civil War.
I was watching. You know what's crazy?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is that
Batman versus Superman?
if you ever watch lists of actors that rekindled their career or vamped their career or whatever.
Are you talking
like,
about Paul Bettany?
certain The Vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you going to mention him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's so crazy to me that if you look
like how I just nailed that one?
if you look at like any of those lists, 8 of them, like if it's top 10, like
Are Marvel guys?
Just Marvel guys.
Who else is
like
in there?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is the most
Robert
number
Downey,
one.
yes.
Because like that's the biggest turnaround.
The reason why I say Paul Bettany is because he tells this story about how his agent called him and he was like, hey, like this whole acting thing, you might have to reconsider.
Yeah.
And then like after he got off the phone, Joss Whedon called him. He was like, hey, so you're the Vision, obviously, because like this is what we're gonna do in the show. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you're the Vision. Like that's your, like Jarvis is being the Vision. Like that's it. And he was like, get the fuck. And then he got off the phone. He was like, yeah, suck my fucking dick. I think he fired his agent. It's like,
good.
I don't like. How weird being the voice for Jarvis ends up being you be like.
I mean, he had to have been making money doing the voice too.
Oh, for sure. But like you get paid more if you're
yeah, obviously
you're the Vision.
yeah. Absolutely, but like
And now
to
he's in
say
a
that
fucking
like
TV show, and
that you're going that you have to like end your career.
yeah, because he was getting kind of nothing besides that.
Well, because before that, I guess he had like a bunch of flop. Like he was like the lead actor in like Legion or whatever, which was like this hyped up movie that just ended up being a big flop.
I don't know it.
Yeah, he was like in a few movies.
And then you remember A Beautiful Mind? He was his best friend in that movie.
Yep.
He was like the schizophrenic friend.
Yep. Oh, we should watch that tonight.
A Beautiful Mind.
I haven't seen that in forever. You like that movie?
There's a couple movies that you saw, right? That just struck a chord with you so much that I know that you'll always want to watch them. A Beautiful Mind, and also
I've only seen that movie once.
A Beautiful Mind is the one you. These are the two movies that I watched because of you. A Beautiful Mind and Matt Damon.
Gotta see About a Girl.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting.
What the fuck was? I just watched the.
Those are the two that you like. You'll always want to watch.
Oh,
them.
you got to watch The Boys. The loser guy in there quotes just like you.
Does he?
I gotta see About a Girl.
Does he make the quote?
Yeah,
That's cool.
and he's the dork,
Oh, good.
like you.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
But yeah, all like there's Chris Pratt as
You
well.
know, my girlfriend sees me as Tony Stark.
All right, we'll watch X-Men. She's going to see
She's gonna say, "Oh, never mind. There you are."
tongue out.
Is that David on screen? Well, how old were you when this movie came out, David?
That's you.
What are we on time? What does it say?
56 minutes.
Damn.
But yeah, so like, who else is there? There's, if you think about it, there is like quite a few. Mark Ruffalo, because he was so underrated prior to
Correct.
Marvel. Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
I mean, to say it's a revival of the career is weird to me, because
It just like jump-started most careers.
so Robert Downey Jr. is a legitimate argument, like obviously completely changed. Yes. But the other ones, like
The Vision for sure too.
yeah, Paul Bettany for sure. Chris Evans, Chris Pratt.
Chris Evans like was in like 4 or 5 duds before that. Like he was like
These
in
are
this
obviously
one,
the movies
Losers
that-
or whatever.
What?
It was like a movie that he was in that was like a big like comic book movie. Just ended up being a flop.
I really have to look into it to like be like, you know what? His whole career turned around after this. But like definitively Marvel has made these people's careers what it is. Like, is Scarlett Johansson gonna be in Jojo Rabbit and fucking Marriage Story without Marvel?
Probably
Actually,
not.
maybe, because she was in fucking the thing with Bill Murray, Lost in Translation. She had a fucking career.
And she was in Her.
And Her. And she was fucking in What Goes Around Comes Around music video with Justin Timberlake.
Goes around, come back around.
I thought I told you. Hey. What goes around goes back around.
It just sucks that song's so short.
There is a TikTok beef going on
Okay.
where you might have seen this trend, like where it's like a redhead girl with like a fucking septum piercing, and she was like, does anybody have any wicked random celebrity beef?
Yes.
You know that?
Yes.
Then it cuts to a girl talking about her mother or her stepmother worked on the set of Avengers, like the first one.
Yes.
And Joss Whedon saw her hairstyle and modeled Black Widow's hairstyle after that. He was like, I love your hair. We're going to make Black Widows. Because from Iron Man 2, her hair switched from really long into her iconic, like, short red hair.
Yes.
And I guess the story goes, after the wrap, they wrapped on Avengers, Scarlett Johansson threw a wrap party and invited every single member of the cast, minus that girl's mother.
Really?
This is what and then the second part of the video, she shows like, here's what my stepmom looks like. I know her hair is like a different color, like it's not red, but it's blonde, but generally the style is kind of the same. And I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if Scarlett Johansson is like necessarily like this diva who would really fucking gave a shit.
Yeah, I haven't heard stuff like that about her.
I haven't either. Maybe it's true, but that was a TikTok story I heard.
And even watching her, like, I don't know. I get that sometimes it's like fake, but like
Yeah.
watching interviews with her, she seems like a kind of
Every
real
time I've
person.
seen, every time, and she dates a comedian on SNL.
Oh yeah.
They're married to him now, I think.
Yeah, the fucking head writer of SNL.
It is fucking
Alongside-
Colin Jost.
You know what I didn't
And Michael
realize
Shea.
about
What?
SNL is that before they go live, did you know that they have like
A dress rehearsal.
people warm up the show, like warm up the crowd?
They do dress, and they the
Like
whole,
they do like stand up, like Michael Shea does stand up comedy before.
Yeah, those
Like
are called crowd. So yeah, you essentially pump up the crowd, and then also they do a dress where they do all of the skits, to like a different crowd in general, just to see what plays well. And then from dress to this is all that happens on Saturday before,
Yes.
and from dress to like live, they cut skits in between or like change jokes up. So that's one of the reasons why Bill Hader always fucking cracked on Weekend Update when he played Stefan, because John Mulaney would switch jokes from dress to live.
That is really good. Fuck, Bill Hader's a fucking god too. But yeah, I didn't realize that until I saw Keenan Thompson
Yeah.
on talking about, because there was like this skit that he was written into where like for Eddie Murphy's open monologue, I think,
Okay.
where it was just like they pulled out the greats like fucking
Like Dave,
Eddie Murphy, Dave
Chris
Chappelle,
Rock.
Chris Rock,
Keenan came out,
Keenan, and
and then it was,
Tracy Morgan.
and then also what's the white cast member? He's like, "All right, guys." He was like, "Now that we're all here," and then Keenan's like, "No." I fucking love that.
Yeah, it's really good. There are some talented people on us, because the fucking one joke that really gets me is and I'm here for Mark Twain.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, the Dave Chappelle Mark Twain Award
Yes.
with Colin
Jost,
Jost made that joke.
Colin Jost is a
Michael-
white guy, and Michael Shea is like, they both do Weekend Update.
Yes,
Both
and
are head writers.
Keenan Thompson and Michael Shea are obviously like, I mean, who isn't influenced by Dave Chappelle?
Yes.
But generally speaking, like black comedians are really influenced by black comedians, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're like really talking about how much Dave has inspired them.
Yes.
And then Colin Jost sums it by saying, "And I'm here for Mark Twain."
Yeah. It's really good. One of my favorite all time, even probably, skits that's done on Weekend Update is the Colin Jost Michael Shea exchange
Where,
jokes,
like,
where they have to say each other's jokes.
It really, Colin Jost having to say that Rosa Parks is an uppity bitch is one of the funniest things
Yes.
of recent memory on SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
always pretty good.
I do like Weekend Update a lot. I mean, Seth Meyers was great, and obviously Bill Hader when he came into as Stefan, and
Any guest on Weekend Update always usually ends up being some of the best.
Tina Fey doing Sarah Palin was like a classic.
What was it that fucking what's his name? Not Mark. One of the best of all time. He's my favorite like guest on shows.
Guest on shows.
He's an older comedian.
Older.
He was with he was on the YouTube. He's like
Keep going.
Conan O'Brien all the time.
Conan O'Brien all the time.
Fuck.
Oh, you're talking about Martin Short?
No.
Not Martin Short.
No.
Conan O'Brien all the time?
He's one of my favorite comedians. He's
Not
got
Bill Hader?
He's
John Mulaney.
He's just a setup punchline guy.
Oh, you're thinking of Mark Dorman?
No, I was saying Mark Norman too.
On SNL?
Yes,
Set up punchline?
He was the the Weekend Update guy.
Seth Meyer?
No, way back.
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Yes.
God.
Norm Macdonald. I don't know why that took so long. What was the jokes that he would always used to make? That like was it about O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, he basically was like, I don't remember the verbatim jokes, but he was just saying like something about O.J. clearly being a killer and murderer.
Yes.
And the rumor goes that the head of NBC was friends with OJ and didn't really appreciate those jokes and never thought Norm was funny in the first place and had him fired.
Yes.
And it was out of Lauren's control, so he couldn't do it. So when when Norm came back to host the show,
Yeah.
he completely changed the monologue and just was talking about how SNL fired me because I am unfunny. And now I am here to host the show, which either means that I am funny or this show just sucks.
Like, it's so crazy to me because his jokes, from the naked eye, if you read them
Yeah.
on paper, they're whatever. They're not like genius
Yeah.
by any means. When he says them, the way that he delivers them, just like the amount of actual work that does go into it, like to perfect that craft, it is one of my favorite things to watch.
He's
That guy-
also a straight weirdo.
is he?
He's a little weird. You know, he's a degenerate gambler.
Really?
I like
that.
He has lost like all of his life.
Does that make you lose respect for people?
No.
I don't get that. Why is like
No, not at all.
you know what my favorite era was?
What?
Michael Jordan being addicted to gambling.
Norm Macdonald has lost his entire life savings
Yes.
more than once from gambling.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that's what he.
Good.
Yeah, I like it.
Who
I feel like
needs
it adds to it.
What happens when you die?
Nothing. Fuck it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And also, he can just constantly do shows.
When I die, I put my money in the grave.
Hey,
And if there's none left, fuck it, dude. Who
nailed
cares?
it.
Who cares?
We're out of here.
Peace.